into the break, we were talking with Larry, and Larry's going through a divorce, sadly. He and his soon-to-be ex maxed out all his credit cards, which he was supposed to be using for work expenses and being reimbursed there. He can no longer use them for that because they're maxed out, so he can't travel. His work won't help him, and they tell him he's going to have to take time off without pay until he fixes this, and he's got $300 in his account to his name. Is that a fair summary of what you told me so far, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you make at this job?
Yearly, right at $93,000.
What do you do?
I'm a field service engineer.
Service engineer.
Mm-hmm.
You're an engineer by trade?
Yes, I work on other people, industrial equipment of all sizes and shapes.
Okay. But you have an engineering degree?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is that your time with this company sounds like it's done. That's the first thing that comes to mind, for multiple reasons. Being on the road hasn't worked well for you. Paying their expenses for them, you being their bank, isn't working well for you. And as an engineer, you can probably make 90 somewhere else. You're out of money. You don't have the ability to borrow to go on the road anymore. And for some odd reason, after 15 years, they're unwilling to help you at all. That's either means that they don't like the level of production that you're doing, or that they're cold-hearted, or both. How big a company is this?
It's a worldwide company.
Oh, okay. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's just corporate America then. Okay.
Yes.
All right. No heart, no soul. How much debt have you got, Larry?
Total, probably around $225,000.
That includes
including house.
Okay. How much of that's your home?
About $120,000.
Okay, so you got $100,000 in consumer debt.
Yes.
And how much of that's credit cards?
Probably around $15,000.
Okay. What's the rest of it?
2 vehicles and a motorcycle.
So you got like $50,000 cars?
Got one that's 40 and one that's 20.
Okay.
But like I said, I'm in the divorce, and I cannot sell her vehicle. Mm-hmm. I tried to do that, tried to take it out of my name, but it's still in negotiation or arbitration, I guess you might say, that they will not. I can't do it until that's final.
Yeah. I understand.
She bought the new car just recently.
In your name?
Yes.
How did you sign it?
I didn't.
She fraudulently signed your name?
My name's on it, and I have to pay for it. That's my dilemma. My insurance company. I have to pay the car insurance also, which they told me that I could not drop because it was their company policy unless I dropped everything that I've had for over 30 years. Home.
Okay.
Life insurance.
All right. So you need to sit down and talk with your attorney. Because let me help. Let's sidebar for just a second. We'll come back to your immediate problem. You've got a lot of problems, but but if you did not sign for this car, there's no way on God's green earth in any state that you should end up liable for this car. If you do, you have the world's worst attorney.
Well,
she's committed criminal fraud if she signs your name.
Oh.
Okay? I can't go and sign your name and buy a car. Even if I'm married to you, I can't do that unless you have a power of attorney. Have you given her an unlimited power of attorney?
No, not recently.
Okay, well, ever?
I don't remember. I've been married 32 years.
Well, I've been married 35 years. I know I haven't given my wife an unlimited power of attorney. So I'm positive of that. So anyway, so you need to sit down with your attorney. It sounds like your soon-to-be ex has committed criminal fraud. That should enter into the negotiations. You should not end up responsible for a $40,000 vehicle that you did not sign for. Now, that's a sidebar. As far as your insurance company goes, tell them to stick it in their ear. Okay? If they can't, I'm going to cancel everything in sight with them. They don't get to tell me what to do. Who is this? Who's this insurance company?
Alpha.
Okay, then go get you another insurance company and get insurance on your car. Why are you insuring her car? You know, your attorney sounds like a wuss to me.
Well, he told me just our last meeting last week or 2 weeks ago that he would drop my insurance company also. He said that's not a law. He said that's their company policy.
Yeah,
that's
exactly right. I'd go get let her get insurance on a $40,000 car she signed fraudulently for, and don't you dare pay a payment on that. So that's set aside. Now we got $15,000 in credit card debt. I'm guessing both of your names are legitimately on all those credit cards, and I'm guessing both of your names are legitimately on this $20,000 car. What other debt is there?
That's basically it. There is a Lowe's. I just forgot that. That's probably right at $10,000. I bought a piece of property a couple of years ago, and that was used to fix up a couple of trailers on it.
Mm-hmm. Is that property, do you still own it?
Yes.
What's it worth?
The property is actually probably worth $100,000. It's on a lake.
Good. That's going to be sold to clean this mess up then. Yeah. So here's a couple of other things, and then we're going to get back to your original issue. The last thing is this: in a divorce, you don't want to end a marriage and stay on debt with somebody.
No.
And so this car has to be moved away from you. You need to refinance your car as a part of the negotiation and get it out of her name, and you be responsible for it, and you probably need to sell it and get something cheaper right now as soon as possible. But all of that's going to be, you have to get permission to do all that. That is accurate information from your attorney. So you've got to make sure you don't stay on the hook to pay everything if she doesn't pay it, because the one thing we know about her is she's not reliable. Now, next on. What are we going to do with $300 to your name and no ability to go to work? You're going to have to go to work somewhere else. And that may mean delivering pizzas and driving Uber for 3 weeks to keep your bills paid a little bit until you get a new engineering job.
Okay. A part-time job doesn't bother me. I can get a job because, like I say, I work in companies all over the U.S. I have many contacts with them, you know, and offered quite a bit of jobs to come privately work for them. But I didn't want to lose a good job, or what I thought was a good job.
Yeah. I don't think you've got a good job.
I don't either anymore.
I don't think you're working for a good company. So, it's you know, as soon as you can land something, the better. Hopefully you can land it there until you at least get through this divorce.
Yes.
Because you need to stay there until you get this settled and you don't end up holding the bag on the whole thing because you're having to fly into Birmingham to do negotiations. You got grown children or little children?
Yeah. No, my children are grown. They're gone out of the house.
Well, that's financially good news anyway.
Right. Well, one of the things in last November and early December, we had arbitration dates that I told my company about, and the 2 or 3 days before, they told me, no, you cannot leave that job and go to that, which did not put me in good standings with my lawyer or anybody.
Yeah, exactly, because you do need to look for a job, brother, and you're going to have to get something part-time to eat with until you land something. Hopefully you can land something in a week or two. And you may need to move. And if you move, that's fine. You fly in for the arbitration and make that part of your signing deal with the new place. I'm sorry you're going through this, but break this down into small parts, figure out what's most important, and that last part right now is the most immediate emergency you've got. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.